Tesla Incorporated is an American electric vehicle and clean energy company based in Palo Alto, California. Tesla's current products include electric cars, battery, energy storage, from home to grid scale, solar panels and solar roof tiles, as well as other related products and services. But before diving deep in the details about Tesla, let's first talk about the person we are all amazed by, none other than the CEO of Tesla Incorporated, Mr. Elon Musk. According to Ashley Vance's biography of Elon Musk, the book portrays Elon as a born entrepreneur who started his first internet business in his 20s. In 1999, in the age of 28, Elon Musk sold his company and started his next venture, an online payment system called X, which later merged with a competitor to form PayPal, the dominant e-commerce payment gateway that rules the internet payments today. Once PayPal was sold to eBay in 2002, Elon Musk founded his own space exploration company called SpaceX, revolutionizing space travel, with the goal to implement reusable rockets and make Mars habitable. Talk about shooting for the stars, right? Meanwhile, in 2003, Mr. Musk started investing heavily in Tesla, the company that will be the main focus of the analysis. Within a few years, he became Tesla's CEO. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that in addition to running two multi-billion dollar businesses in parallel, Elon Musk founded two other entities, a non-profit organization called AI, whose aim is to prevent a Terminator-like scenario in which humans become extinct at the bionic hands of robots, and a firm called the Boring Company, who strive to ease traffic in big cities by building a network of tunnels. Obviously, so far, this is an illustration of continued success and superhuman efforts. It also reminds me of the story of Steve Jobs. He founded Apple, left Apple, founded Next and Pixar, and returned to Apple and managed to accomplish one of the most impressive turnaround in the history of business, turning the almost bankrupt firm into the world's most valuable company. For some reason, I believe that every generation has an entrepreneur who is able to defy all odds and accomplish phenomenal success. And for ours, this could be well for Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, but that's a different case study overall. Elon Musk's success and persona are not a secret to the public anymore. He has a Steve Jobs like ability to get people excited about the products his companies create and sell. In the globalized world of today, this is one of the most important assets business wish for a loyal fan base of customers who feel connected to the company and its mission. Recently, an investment banking research analyst from Nomura said that Tesla has a brand following, a second only to Apple. Tesla is a very interesting business. Consider the following from a strategic perspective. The company compete in the industry which has already matured. However, it challenges previously established auto producers by becoming the first to entirely focus on electric vehicles. We will discuss whether this is sustainable, competitive, or advantage, what Tesla's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are in automotive market, and how its close relationship with the space exploration firm SpaceX could help it surpass traditional auto producers. A fascinating story from a strategic perspective. The automotive industry in its mature phase. More than 90 million new vehicles are produced each year. The number are even higher when we take into consideration commercial clients ordering pickup trucks, vans, buses, trucks. Of course, this is a market dominated by global players with significant economies of scale and multi-billion marketing investments made each year. So how does Tesla hope to penetrate a mature market and become a true global player? Well, it doesn't. Or at least the company is not doing it directly. Tesla is the first major auto producer with complete focus on electric vehicles. There are two possible interpretations. One is to say that Tesla created a niche in the automotive or automobile industry market, which is certainly true. Or alternatively, we can consider that the market for electric vehicles is an industry of its own. Both points of view have their own merit. I personally prefer the second one. So if we say that the electric vehicles market is an industry of its own, which would be its current stage of development according to you? Introduction, growth, or maturity? Let's look at it like this. The introduction stage consists of technological stabilization and going through multiple product iterations to come up with a product version that is ready to be sold in mass production. Back in 2003, when Tesla founded the industry, was clearly in its introduction phase. There were mostly low-speed, tiny electric vehicles around the world, but none of them could be compared to fossil fuel cars. Then in 2008, Tesla released their first product, the Roadster Sports Car. The firm's strategy with the Roadster was to build an electric car by cheaply converting Lotus Elise chassis. Later on, Elon Musk claimed that it was a very wrong and very bad idea. So, first, it wasn't cheap to convert Lotus Elise and use that car as a platform. And second, at the time, Tesla assumed that they were going to be able to use developed by the company called AC propulsion for the electric drivetrain and battery. The problem was that AC propulsion technology failed during production, and then Lotus chassis were invalidated by the heavier weight of the electric cars. After adding batteries and electric motors, everything had to be redone. According to Elon Musk, the final version of the Tesla Roadster had less than 7% of the parts in common with any other existing vehicles at the time, which means that all these parts were very expensive as they were not produced at scale. These are precisely the type of products iterations that take place in the introduction phase of an industry when the first mover player tries to come up with a stable version of the product. Later on, however, Tesla managed to introduce car models like the Tesla Model S, Model X, and Model 3, delivering more than 100,000 vehicles of Model S and Model X in 2017. Here, we can assume that the electric car industry is entering its growth stage of development. The price of electric cars is still high, as there are many customers who are price insensitive. And currently, there are only a few good products offered by the producers on the market. This, of course, attracts interest from traditional car producers, some of them like BMW or Volkswagen, announced that they will focus on electric vehicles and will introduce their first models in 2018 and in 2019. Sales are expected to grow really fast over the next 5 to 10 years in the electric vehicle industry. Of course, Tesla's job is to claim a bigger portion of the pie and become profitable, especially if they would like to become the most compelling auto producer in the 21st century. Competition will be tough, but Tesla has several competitive advantages given that it's a first mover in the electric vehicles market. It will certainly need such advantages, as Elon Musk pointed out very recently. Only previous US car producer startup company that did not fail was founded 100 years before Tesla. And guess which company was that? Yes, it was Ford Motor Company. In the history of American car companies, there are only two firms that have not gone bankrupt. That's Ford and Tesla. So let's start by examining Tesla's mission and vision statements. Both will help us understand how the company sees the future and what it aims to achieve. Tesla's initial mission was to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable transport, but this statement was later modified in 2016. The current mission statement reads like this: to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. This is a much broader mission statement and it encompasses the production of transport vehicles, Tesla Solar Roof, energy storage, electric energy, and most recently, Tesla Homes. The common denominator is sustainability, and this is one of the main reasons why people are so excited about the company's products. Tesla is not perceived as a giant corporation that puts profit above all else. Its mission is to help humanity thrive and save the planet in the process. This gives the company business a solid foundation. It allows Tesla to recruit some of the best engineers in the world who desires to work for a company that is making a real difference. And of course, it helps Tesla win customers who are sensitive to environmental issues. Tesla's vision statement goes like this: to create the most compelling car of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. Every vision statement needs to be specific and measurable. This is a perfect example, and Tesla aims high with committing to become the most compelling car company of the 21st century. The firm envisions a future in which it becomes a leader in the electric vehicles market. Well, in all fairness, it is already a leader in the market. As Elon Musk tweeted, Tesla was first, second, and third in the electric vehicle sales for August 2018. However, things are expected to change when traditional car companies, which have so far been focusing on fossil fuels, become more and more involved in the electric vehicles market. Think of it like this: in 2018, the global automobile industry expects to sell 90 million new vehicles. Tesla sold a little above 100,000. It dominated the electric vehicles market, but established firms in global auto market will soon enter the scene. This makes Tesla's vision to be the most compelling car company of the 21st century that much bolder. Next, we'll examine how the company has positioned itself strategically to achieve such an ambitious goal. The noise and excitement around the electric vehicles could easily distract someone from the fact that Tesla isn't just an automotive company anymore. It became an all-round sustainable energy firm when SolarCity merged with Tesla in 2016, adding several additional product lines to its offering. The slogan of Tesla Energy is "Power Everything." Here's how the company envisions this happening. Tesla offers two main products: solar panels, roofs to convert sunlight in energy, and Tesla Powerwalls to store energy. All of this will happen in a Tesla home, which will have 24/7 access to backup power. Although the idea is to use the sunlight as the primary source of energy besides home products, Tesla is one of the most innovative companies when it comes to huge power storage installations. I'm sure most of you have heard about the company's involvement in Australia and Puerto Rico during recent electricity blackouts. Such installations are critical for a large-scale use of renewable energy. Tesla builds these huge batteries to store energy generated by the solar panels, wind farms, or other renewable sources. In Australia, the world's largest lithium-ion battery was installed by Tesla over an area of the size of a football field at a wind farm, is saving customers millions of dollars in making the grid more reliable. The battery product line has a huge potential and could very well surpass the automobile division in a favorable future scenario. As the world is about to transition to renewable energy, Tesla has ramped up critical know-how in an industry that is still in its infancy. Cost of battery storage keep falling, and at a certain point in the time this would allow for massive growth in revenue as the technology becomes more and more accessible. Energy storage and generation are key pieces of that puzzle to achieve sustainability. The way Tesla sees the future is to have homes that are equipped with solar panels and solar roofs. Batteries store the energy that has been generated during the day and allow homeowners to use it at night. And of course, some homeowners will also be able to charge their electric vehicles using solar energy. This is a truly integrated vision, keeping the big picture in mind. Of course, given the fact that it is still an emerging industry, we cannot expect strong financial results from it for the next several years, given that plenty of investments are necessary. Nevertheless, this is a business line with tremendous potential because Tesla is a first mover and an innovator in the market as well. Now, Porter has 5 forces analysis in an invaluable framework we can use when we would like to assess a company's positioning within an industry. In other words, it allows us to examine the attractiveness of a business. Here we will consider Tesla's automotive division. The 5 forces will be bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of the buyers, threats of substitute products, threat of new entrants, and existing competition. Okay, so let's analyze each of these forces by bearing in mind what we said previously. The market for electric vehicles is an industry entering its growth stage. We'll start with the bargaining power of the suppliers. Tesla is in its growth stage. Tesla is a vertically integrated producer. Most production processes are carried out in the house, which means that they rely on suppliers for components rather than buying ready-made technologies and products. This allows the company to be more independent in its processes and improve its bargaining power. Suppliers of components are relatively easy to substitute. A complete technology outsourced externally can be much more problematic. Furthermore, Tesla's bargaining power with respect to suppliers is expected to improve even further when production scales significantly and the company is able to place large orders when the negotiating of Model S and Model X components. The company had one significant disadvantage. Its short track record, combined with the low production volumes, were not that compelling to suppliers. Things are about to change now. Model 3 production target of 5,000 per week was achieved in the middle of 2018. So suppliers will be increasingly interested in doing business with Tesla and improving conditions offered from 2018 onwards. Moreover, what is very interesting is that everyone on Tesla's team, likely his name starts with E and ends with N, suggested suppliers should return money back. Tesla requested suppliers to return a significant amount of the payments they have received since 2016. This is unusual, as in case of companies ask for price reductions going forward, not retroactively. There are two possible interpretations. Tesla is desperate for cash, which is a bit too obvious, according to me, or alternatively, company feels that it is in a strong position to ask the suppliers for such a gesture. From Tesla's perspective, when suppliers offered them prices for Model 3 components, they did that based on Model S and Model X production figures, which were surpassed significantly. So to sum up, Tesla has a pretty strong bargaining power when negotiating with suppliers now that it has scaled and will continue to increase its production. Bargaining power of the buyers. In the automobile business to consumer market, Tesla sells its products to hundreds of thousands of people. Therefore, it is safe to say that customers cannot really negotiate prices as they do not have enough bargaining power. However, it is also true that there are many firms operating in the market depending on the type of car being sold. Tesla can either charge a premium for vehicles or has to offer a very competitive price. Like when it tries to win a mass audience with the Model 3 in a couple of years of test level entered the business to business market. Things are a bit different there. In 2007, in the business to business market, Pepsi pre-ordered 100 semi-trucks. This was Pepsi's biggest public order to date. So it is reasonable to expect that when such large orders are made, Tesla and Pepsi representatives negotiated prices a bit. However, the bargaining price of customers in the B2B market is not too strong either. It allows corporate clients to obtain a few percentage points of discounts from list prices. Okay, so next in our agenda, substitute products. The main alternative to electric vehicles, the vehicles which using fossil fuel, right? Correct. The growth of the electric automobile market largely depends on the speed of transition from fossil fuel cars, besides their environmental benefits. Electronic vehicles have significantly cheaper maintenance costs, but also lack significant key infrastructure, such as charging stations and mechanics. Also right now, electric cars including Tesla's vehicles tend to be sold at a premium over fossil fuel cars. Even when the incentives are considered, this will probably change in a few years down the road when electric car producers manage to achieve significant economies scale. A very interesting development in the automotive industry are ride and car sharing services becoming more and more popular in big cities over the last few years. Firms like Uber redefined car ownership in metropolitan areas. Many people prefer using an application and simply ordering a ride compared to owning a vehicle. A person using ride sharing does not have to cover the cost of buying a car, its maintenance, parking, and other related expenses. In a similar way, car sharing services like Car2Go allow people to do hourly car rentals. It is reasonable to expect that the uprise of shared car services will likely transform a portion of the existing automobile sales market. At this point, the entrance of the new players in the electric car market seems imminent. Almost all auto producers have announced their plans to release electric versions of existing portfolios. This is a significant threat. It is also true, however, that most of these firms are behind on the learning curve. It is yet to be seen how they'll adapt their vehicles to the different weight, acceleration, and most importantly, electric battery systems. Tesla's experience with Lotus chassis could be a very interesting case study. as there are a great number of difficulties faced when trying to convert a regular car into an electric vehicle. Nevertheless, we can conclude that the competition in the industry is expected to intensify in the near future. The rapid growth of the market will likely protect Tesla in the midterm. But at some point, we will have to find a way to compete the established producers like BMW, Volkswagen, and Toyota. At the very center of the five forces framework is the level of competition in the industry. At present, we already mentioned that there aren't that many companies competing in the electric vehicles market right now. Besides Tesla, some of the producers who release their cars are Kia, GM, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Renault, BMW. But the fact that tens of thousands of people are willing to wait for a Tesla Model 3 for a year and deposit thousands and thousands of dollars or more tells us that competition is not so fierce at the moment. So in summary, we can say the electronic vehicle industry looks precisely like an industry which is at the beginning of its growth phase. And Tesla is a first mover and does not face significant competition right now. They have solid know-how, sufficient bargaining power with both suppliers and clients, and are not that threatened by substitute products. The threat of new entrants is, however, much more real and something that the company has to deal with. Porter's Five Forces analysis indicates that Tesla is a leader and first mover in the industry that is about to experience significant growth. This is a good starting position, but it does not guarantee they will manage to win the race against traditional auto producers in the long run. Thanks for watching.